Assalamu alaikum brothers and sisters, welcome back to the Qur'anly YouTube channel. On today's Qur'anly reflections, I want to share with you some thoughts from the story of the two gardeners found in the 18th chapter of the Qur'an, where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala presents a parable. He talks about two men, two friends potentially, who both owned gardens. They were blessed with some wealth. One of the two friends was given much more than the other. He had beautiful gardens, streams flowing through them, produce, everything. And as he's speaking to his friend, he starts to boast about what he's been given without thanking Allah, without necessarily acknowledging where this all comes from, who created him, who is the maintainer and sustainer of everything that exists. He starts to become deluded by his possessions. So much so that as he walks into his garden with his friend, he says, I don't think this is going to go anywhere. I don't think the day of judgment is ever going to come. And even if it does come, and I do meet my Lord, He would give me something far better than I have here. And I want us to pause here for a second and think about the state of this individual, the way this person, this man, has been deluded into believing things which are not true. And what is deluding him is his material possessions, is the things that he's been blessed with. So much so that he almost denies his creator. He doesn't really do that in the story, but he almost does this. Now, at this, his friend tries to advise him, tries to remind him, warns him that, this could all be taken away from you. This could be destroyed. But his delusion is very strong. And what ends up happening? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala destroys his possessions, his gardens. And it's at that moment that he wakes up. Then as Allah records in, I believe, the 32nd ayah of this chapter, that he sits down and he wrings his hands. He wrings his hands and the only thing he says is that only if I hadn't associated partners with my Lord. Now I want us to pause there for a second and think about this. What type of shirk, if you like, was this man doing? Was he worshipping other idols? It's not something we hear about in the story. Was he worshipping statues? Was he worshipping other gods? Nothing we hear about in the story. So what was the association here? What was he associating with Allah? If we think about it, it was his material possessions. Materialism, essentially. Now, there's a big lesson in this for all of us, because we live in a hyper materialized world. This world is full of material things, and we're encouraged in this world to run after the material. So we have to be very careful that we don't associate our material possessions and the material things in this world with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That we always recognize that whatever we have is a blessing from Allah. It's a gift from Allah. It's given to us by Allah. And it in and of itself has no power. It's just a gift. It's something Allah created and He has given us. So therefore, recognizing this, we should only worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We shouldn't associate anyone with Allah in His worship. And this could be a subtle type of shirk, where we end up so amazed by our material possessions that we end up worshipping them in some way, shape or form, and we don't want to fall into this. This is far more subtle than worshipping idols and statues, but it's there. The danger is there, so we should be very, very careful. Yes, we live in a materialistic environment. Yes, there is a lot of material things around us. Yes, we live in a society that encourages us to focus on the material, and alhamdulillah, Allah has given us many good things, many amazing things that we make use of and we benefit from in this world. But don't fall into that trap. Don't end up forgetting Allah because of these things. Don't end up worshipping these things. Worship Allah alone. Whenever you are given something, if you have a lot of money, a lot of good possessions, whatever it is, always remember it's from Allah and thank Allah therefore. Thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Thank Him for the blessings, and this is worship. We will be worshipping Allah. And don't let these, the opposite of this, don't let these things become a means of your distance from Allah. Don't let these things become the thing that take you away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, as in the case of this man. And what did it take for this man to wake up and realize? All of his possessions had to be taken away from him. So let's not let it get to that point. You know, if we've been away from Allah because of these material things that we have, because of the dunya, then stop, really take a moment to think about what you have, remind yourself it's from Allah, it's a gift from Allah, and thank Allah, worship Allah. Allow these things to become a means of you drawing closer to Allah, not far away from Allah. So something for us to think about. Remember, brothers and sisters, you know, this life is short, it's a blessing, it's a test. You know, so the things that we have, the things that we've been given, if we've been blessed with things, then remember there are tests as well, that they are from Allah, and we should use these things to allow us to draw closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so that we benefit in this world and in the hereafter. I leave you guys with that. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Until next time, take care. Assalamu alaikum.